Good evening, everyone. I want to talk to those of you who have ever felt that deep, unshakable calling within you. The feeling that you are chosen for something greater. Maybe you can't explain it, but you know it's there. It whispers in your heart, it fuels your dreams, and it won't let you settle for an average life. But here's the truth. Feeling chosen is not enough. Many feel it, but few act on it. The question is, what will you do about it? Being chosen doesn't mean life will be easy. It means life will test you. It means obstacles will stand in your way. Critics will doubt you, and at times, even you may doubt yourself. But the difference between those who rise and those who fall is commitment. If you feel that you are chosen, then you must first believe it yourself. The world will not always recognize the fire inside you. It will not always see the vision you hold so clearly in your heart. You may speak your dreams aloud, and the only response you receive is silence, doubt, or even laughter. But the chosen do not wait for applause. They do not wait for approval. They do not wait for permission to be who they were born to be. They stand firm in what they know, even when no one else can see it. It is easy to believe in a calling when the world nods its head in agreement. It is easy to walk forward when the road is lined with cheerleaders and open doors. But the chosen are tested in the quiet, in the moments when nothing is certain, when the way forward is unclear, when the voices around them say, "Who do you think you are?" The chosen must answer that question, not with hesitation, not with shame, but with certainty. I am who I was created to be. You see, belief is not about seeing with your eyes. It is about knowing in your soul. It is about holding on when nothing around you confirms what you feel inside. It is about standing up even when doubt whispers in your ear. And doubt will come. Oh, yes, it will come. It will dress itself in logic, in fear, in memories of past failures. It will tell you that you are not enough, not ready, not strong enough, not smart enough, not worthy enough. But if you are chosen, then you must understand doubt is only a shadow. It has no substance unless you give it weight. It has no power unless you open the door and invite it in. You do not need the world's permission to walk in your calling. The world has never been the final authority on greatness. Every great leader, every visionary, every world changer had to believe before anyone else did. They had to see the unseen. They had to build when no one else believed in the foundation. They had to plant seeds when others swore the soil was barren. They had to trust that what was inside them was real, even when the outside world looked empty. So if you feel that you are chosen, you must make a choice. A choice to trust the fire inside you, even when the world offers nothing but cold. A choice to believe in your voice, even when others do not listen. A choice to walk the path meant for you, even if no one walks beside you. Because the truth is, no one can carry your calling for you. No one can hold your dreams with the same passion, the same urgency, the same fire that you do. And if you abandon them, if you silence yourself, if you shrink, then you allow the world to dictate what was never theirs to control. But hear me when I say this. The moment you believe, truly believe, the world will begin to shift. Doors that were locked will start to open. Opportunities that seemed impossible will come into reach. Not because the world suddenly sees your worth, but because your belief has already made a way. Because when you walk in certainty, when you move in confidence, when you stand in your truth, the world cannot help but notice. It cannot help but respond. There will be moments when you will be alone in your belief. Moments when even those closest to you cannot understand the depth of what you carry. But you must hold firm. You must remind yourself again and again that the chosen are not called to fit in. They are not called to follow the path of least resistance. They are called to lead, to create, to transform. You may not have all the answers yet. You may not know every step of the journey. But belief is not about knowing every detail. It is about trusting the process. It is about stepping forward even when you cannot see the whole road. It is about taking that first step, then another, until suddenly the path is clear and the destination no longer feels like a distant dream, but a reality within reach. So if you feel that you are chosen, do not wait for the world to confirm it. Do not wait for validation, for a perfect moment, for an undeniable sign. Stand now, believe now, move now, because the chosen are not waiting for the world to believe in them. The world is waiting for them to believe in themselves. If you feel that you are chosen, then you must understand that fear will come. It is not a question of if, but when. Fear does not ask for permission before it arrives. It does not knock politely on the door. It moves in like a storm cloud, uninvited and unrelenting. It whispers doubts in the quiet moments, settles into your bones when you least expect it, and grips your heart just when you are ready to take a step forward. But hear me now. Fear may come, but faith must walk beside it. Fear does not mean you are weak. It does not mean you are unworthy. It does not mean you are on the wrong path. Even the strongest, the boldest, the most fearless-looking souls have felt the tremble of uncertainty, the weight of doubt pressing against their chests. The difference is not in whether they feel fear, it is in how they respond to it. The chosen do not let fear decide for them. They do not let it steal their voice, their purpose, their light. They feel it, acknowledge it, and then walk forward anyway. Faith is not the absence of fear. Faith is the refusal to let fear have the final say. Faith is standing on the edge of the unknown, feeling the wind of doubt against your skin and stepping forward anyway. Faith is knowing that the road may be difficult, that the path may not always be clear, but trusting that each step will reveal the way. It is understanding that purpose does not come with a map. Destiny does not hand out guarantees. You may not see the full picture yet, but you must believe that what is meant for you will unfold in its time. You cannot wait for fear to disappear before you move. If you wait for fear to leave, you will wait forever. Fear does not vanish on its own. It is pushed back by action. It is defeated by movement, by the decision to go on despite its presence. The chosen do not wait until they feel brave. They act first and bravery follows. They speak even when their voice shakes. They rise even when their knees tremble. They keep walking even with fear pacing beside them because they know that faith is the stronger companion. There will be moments when fear shouts louder than faith, moments when the voices in your mind tell you to turn back, to play small, to retreat into the comfort of the familiar. Fear will remind you of past failures. It will show you all the ways things could go wrong. But faith reminds you of who you are. Faith tells you that you were not given this fire for nothing, that the path ahead may be uncertain, but your calling is sure. You must train yourself to lean into faith, not fear. When fear says you are not enough, faith replies, I am growing, I am learning, I am becoming. When fear says you will fail, faith declares, even if I stumble, I will rise again. When fear says, turn back, faith whispers, keep walking. You must speak life over yourself, even when fear tries to suffocate your voice. You must remind yourself that the chosen are not those who never feel afraid. They are those who choose to believe in something greater than their fear. And hear me now. Fear will try to convince you that comfort is safer than courage, that staying where you are is better than reaching for what is possible. But the chosen do not settle for safety when they were meant for more. They do not stay in places that no longer serve them just because the unknown feels daunting. They do not let fear steal the future that was meant for them. You must make a choice to trust that even in the moments of doubt, you are still on the right path. A choice to believe that even when fear grips your heart, you are still capable of great things. A choice to walk forward, not because you have all the answers, but because you refuse to let fear be the thing that holds you back. So, if you feel that you are chosen, walk with faith. Fear may follow you, but it cannot lead you. It may whisper, but it cannot speak louder than the voice of your purpose. Keep moving, keep believing, and know that the path meant for you will always open when you step forward with faith. If you feel that you are chosen, then you must understand that greatness is not found in ease, but in endurance. It does not come wrapped in comfort, nor does it rise from the soft embrace of an easy road. Greatness is forged in fire, shaped in struggle, and carved from the very moments when you think you cannot go on. It is not gifted to those who wait for perfect conditions. It is claimed by those who persist when everything inside them begs to stop. There will be days when you are tired, days when the weight of your dreams feels too heavy to carry, days when the world does not applaud your efforts, when progress is invisible, when it feels like every step forward is met with resistance. You will question if it is worth it. You will wonder if you are strong enough. But hear me. This is the moment where endurance is born. This is the moment where the chosen either rise or retreat. And if you are truly chosen, then you must not turn back. Ease has never created anything lasting. It is not the soft winds that shape the strongest trees, but the storms that test their roots. It is not the quiet waters that forge the mightiest rivers, but the relentless flow cutting through stone. And so it is with you. Your strength, your resilience, your greatness, it will not be found in the days of ease, but in the moments when you push forward despite the struggle. Endurance is not about running without stopping. It is about refusing to quit even when you must slow down. It is about taking one more step when your legs are weary, speaking one more word when your voice is tired, believing one more time when doubt tells you to let go. It is about showing up again and again until the world has no choice but to recognize the fire inside you. People will look at those who succeed and call them lucky. They will see the victory but not the battles. They will see the reward, but not the sacrifice. But the chosen know the truth. Greatness is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of persistence. It is built in the moments when no one is watching, in the quiet hours of work, in the unseen battles of discipline and faith. It is not about waiting for an easy road. It is about walking the hard one and refusing to give up. There will be setbacks. There will be moments when you fail, when your plans crumble, when you face rejection, disappointment, heartbreak. You may fall 100 times, but endurance demands that you rise 101. Every fall is a lesson, every setback a teacher, every failure a whisper reminding you that growth is happening even when you cannot see it. You must train your heart for endurance. Train your mind to see obstacles not as barriers, but as stepping stones. Train your spirit to hold on, even when the night feels too long, even when the road is steep, even when everything inside you aches for rest. Because the truth is, those who endure will always outrun those who only wish. Those who persist will always outshine those who only dream. The chosen are not the ones who find the road easy. They are the ones who refuse to stop walking. They are the ones who understand that greatness is built in struggle, that purpose is strengthened in pain, that the fire inside them burns brightest when the winds of doubt try to put it out. So if you feel that you are chosen, do not run from the hard days. Do not shrink when the journey tests you. Do not let the weight of the challenge convince you that you are not meant to carry it. Keep going. Keep pushing. Keep believing, because the chosen are not those who never face struggle. They are the ones who never let struggle win. If you feel that you are chosen, then you must understand that your gift is not just for you. It is meant to serve others. The talents you carry, the wisdom you gather, the fire that burns within you, all of it was placed inside you, not just to elevate your own life, but to leave an impact on the world around you. Purpose does not exist in isolation. It is not meant to be locked away, hidden from sight, or kept for personal gain. The chosen are given something greater than themselves, and their true power is revealed when they use their gifts to uplift, to inspire, to serve. It is easy to believe that the journey is only about personal success, that the goal is to reach the highest peak, to claim victory, to gather achievements like treasures. But what is success if it does not lift someone else? What is greatness if it does not open doors for others? The chosen are not called to hoard their light, but to share it. They are not called to build walls around their gifts, but to create pathways for those who come after them. There will come a time when you will realize that your dreams are not just about you, that the battles you fight, the lessons you learn, the strength you gain, it is all meant to pour into others. It is meant to show someone else that they too can rise, that they too can overcome, that they too have something inside them worth fighting for. The world does not need more people who only chase their own desires. It needs people who understand that their gifts are responsibility, that their talents are a tool for change, that their voice, their hands, their hearts have the power to shape something beyond their own lives. The chosen do not ask, what can I gain? They ask, how can I give? They do not only seek success for themselves, but they seek to create opportunities for others to grow, to heal, to rise. But serving others does not mean losing yourself. It does not mean shrinking or pouring from an empty cup. It means recognizing that your purpose is connected to something greater, that your light shines brightest when it helps others find their own. It means walking in your calling with the understanding that every step forward is not just for you, it is for every person who has ever felt lost, every person who has ever doubted themselves, every person who needs to see that it is possible. You must understand that your gift was given to you for a reason. It is not random, it is not an accident. Whether you are a speaker, a healer, a creator, a leader, whatever it is that burns inside you, it was placed there with intention. And intention does not exist for itself. It exists to fulfill a purpose, to create something meaningful, to change something in this world. There will be moments when you feel like what you have is not enough, when you wonder if your gift is too small, too simple, too ordinary to make a difference. But hear me, no gift is too small when it is used with purpose. A word spoken at the right time can change a life. A hand extended in kindness can heal a heart. A single act of courage can ignite a movement. The chosen do not wait until they feel powerful to use what they have. They understand that even the smallest flame can light up the darkness. And so, if you feel that you are chosen, do not keep your gift hidden. Do not wait for the perfect moment. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait until you feel ready. Use what you have where you are with all that you can, because the gift inside you was never meant to be kept. It was meant to be given. If you feel that you are chosen, then you must understand that doubt may knock, but it has no right to stay. It will come in waves, creeping into your mind when you least expect it. It will disguise itself as logic, as caution, as practicality. It will whisper that you are not ready, that you are not worthy, that you should turn back before you make a fool of yourself. It will remind you of every failure, every setback, every time you fell short. But hear me now, doubt is not truth. It is not fact. It is a shadow that only grows if you stand still. The chosen do not avoid doubt, they confront it. They do not let it take root in their minds, they replace it with faith. They understand that doubt is not a sign to stop, it is a test to push through. Every great person who has ever walked this earth has faced doubt. Every leader, every creator, every visionary has had moments where they questioned everything. But they did not let that doubt define them. They did not let it make decisions for them. They felt it, acknowledged it, and then move forward anyway. You must recognize that doubt feeds on inaction. It thrives in hesitation. It grows stronger when you pause too long, when you second guess yourself, when you wait for certainty before you act. But the truth is, certainty is a luxury the chosen do not have. They do not wait to be absolutely sure before they take a step. They move forward even with questions in their minds. They understand that clarity comes through action, not before it. That the path reveals itself to those who are willing to walk it, even when they cannot see the whole way ahead. There will be times when the voices of doubt come not from within, but from those around you. People will project their own fears onto you. They will tell you to be careful, to be realistic, to not aim too high. Not because they do not believe in you, but because they do not believe in themselves. Because they have let doubt win in their own lives, and they cannot imagine a world where someone defeats it. But their fear is not your burden to carry. Their doubt is not your truth to accept. The chosen understand that they cannot let the voices of others drown out the calling that burns inside them. You must train yourself to speak back to doubt, to remind yourself again and again that you are capable, that you are ready, that you are enough. You must become your own advocate, your own encourager, your own believer. Because there will be moments when no one else sees what you see, when no one else believes in the vision you hold. And in those moments, it is not the approval of others that will carry you forward. It is your own unshakable belief in yourself. Doubt will tell you that you are not strong enough, but strength is built in the moments you refuse to quit. It will tell you that you are not smart enough, but wisdom is gained in the act of trying, failing, and learning. It will tell you that the road is too hard, but endurance is not given, it is developed. Every time you choose to move forward despite doubt, you are training yourself to be stronger, to be wiser, to be unbreakable. And hear me, doubt does not disappear forever. It will return again and again in different forms at different stages of your journey. But the difference between the chosen and the ones who never reach their purpose is simple. The chosen do not let doubt make decisions for them. They feel it, they hear it, but they do not obey it. They push through, they rise above, they keep going. So if you feel that you are chosen, do not wait for doubt to leave before you move. Do not let it take up space in your mind. Do not let it plant its roots in your heart. You have been given a purpose, and that purpose is far greater than the doubt that tries to hold you back. Step forward. Speak boldly. Keep believing, because the path ahead is not for those who never feel doubt. It is for those who refuse to let it win. If you feel that you are chosen, then you must understand that the journey is not just about reaching a destination, but about becoming the person who can carry the weight of the calling. It is not simply about arriving. It is about growing, stretching, evolving into the version of yourself who is ready to stand in the place meant for you. The chosen are not only defined by where they are going, but by who they become along the way. You may think you are ready now. You may believe that because the fire is in your heart, because the vision is in your mind, you should already be where you desire to be. But hear me, purpose does not rush. It does not unfold on your timeline. It requires preparation. It requires refinement. It requires that you step into each stage of the journey with an open heart, willing to learn, willing to be shaped, willing to be made into someone who can not only reach greatness, but sustain it. Growth is not comfortable. It demands that you shed the parts of yourself that no longer serve you. It asks you to release old habits, to walk away from things that once felt familiar, but are no longer aligned with where you are going. It will require you to let go of mindsets that keep you small, relationships that drain your energy, environments that do not nurture your growth. The chosen do not just seek elevation, they are willing to make the sacrifices necessary to rise. There will be moments when growth feels like loss, when it feels like the things you once clung to are slipping through your fingers, when it feels like the very foundation you built your identity on is being shaken. But understand this, Nothing that is truly meant for you will ever leave your life because of growth. What falls away was never meant to stay. What remains, what strengthens, what deepens, that is what was always meant to be yours. You will be tested. You will face situations that challenge your patience, your character, your endurance. You will be placed in positions that demand more of you than you thought you had to give, but these moments are not meant to break you. They are meant to prepare you. You cannot step into greatness carrying the weight of immaturity, of fear, of self-doubt. The fire refines, the struggle strengthens, the journey shapes you into the person you are meant to be. And hear me, transformation is not always visible. There will be seasons when you feel like nothing is happening, when you feel stuck, when you wonder if you are moving at all. But just because you cannot see the change does not mean it is not happening. Growth is often quiet. It is in the discipline of showing up every day. It is in the small choices, the silent battles, the unseen moments of perseverance. The chosen do not wait for proof of progress. They trust that every step, no matter how small, is shaping them. You must allow yourself to be molded by the journey, to not fight the process, but embrace it, to not resist change, but welcome it, to understand that you are not just walking towards something, you are becoming someone wiser, someone stronger, someone prepared. The destination is important, but the person you become on the way there is what truly matters. So if you feel that you are chosen, trust the process. Trust that everything happening in your life is shaping you for what is coming. Trust that the struggles, the delays, the lessons are all part of preparing you. Keep growing, keep evolving, keep becoming, because the chosen are not just those who reach the finish line. They are those who transform along the way. And so, if you feel that you are chosen, walk boldly in that truth. Do not shrink, do not hesitate, do not wait for permission to become who you were meant to be. The road may be long, the challenges may be great, but you were never called to an easy path. You were called to a purpose. You have been given the strength to endure, the wisdom to grow, the fire to rise above every doubt and every obstacle. Remember, your journey is not just about you. It is about those who will be inspired by your courage, those who will find their own strength because you refuse to quit. The world does not need more people who merely exist. It needs those who dare to live with intention, those who lead with light, those who take what they have been given and use it to create something greater than themselves. So go forward with faith, move with purpose. Trust that every struggle is shaping you, every lesson is refining you, and every step is leading you exactly where you are meant to be. You are chosen, not because it is easy, but because you are strong enough to carry the weight of your calling. Good luck on your journey. May you walk with confidence, rise with resilience, and shine with the fullness of who you were always meant to be. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, oh, my dear ones, let me tell you something. If you look younger than your age, it means life has kissed you softly. It means you have danced with joy more times than you have wept in sorrow. It means the world has not yet wrung the wonder out of you. Now, I know there are some who will tell you that time is a thief, that it sneaks in and steals the glow from your skin, the strength from your bones, the light from your eyes. But I say no, no, and no again. Time is not a thief, it is a storyteller. And if you look younger than your age, it means your story is being written with love, with laughter, with the wisdom of knowing when to hold on and when to let go. It means you have learned to smile in the face of trouble, to stand up straight even when the weight of the world tries to bend you. It means you have not let bitterness plant itself in your heart and grow wild with thorns. Oh no, you have chosen grace. You have chosen kindness. And those choices, my dear, have made a home in your very skin. Oh, my dear ones, listen to me now. A youthful glow is not just skin deep. It is the reflection of a joyful spirit. It is not bottled in fancy jars, not painted on with powders and creams. No, no. It is carried in the way you laugh, in the way you love, in the way you choose to see the world. Some people will tell you that youth is a number, a fleeting thing, a season that passes too quickly. But I say to you, youth is not measured in years, it is measured in light. And light, my dear, comes from within. It does not fade with time, it only dims when you let go of the things that make your soul shine. If you have ever seen a person walk into a room and turn heads without saying a word, you know what I mean. It is not always their smooth skin or the way they carry themselves. It is something deeper, something richer. It is the energy they bring, the warmth they radiate. A youthful glow does not come from avoiding wrinkles or chasing perfection. It comes from the way your heart beats when you hear a song that makes you want to dance. It comes from the way you throw your head back in laughter without worrying about laugh lines. It comes from the peace you wear on your face, the love you pour into others, the gratitude that rests in your spirit. Oh, my dear, I have seen people in their 20s who look tired of life, and I have seen souls in their 60s who move like the wind, free and full of wonder. The difference is never in the number, it is in the heart. It is in the way they choose to wake up each morning. Do they wake up dreading the day, or do they greet the sun with open arms? Do they count their worries more than their blessings? Do they let the small troubles of life settle on their skin heavy like dust, or do they shake them off and keep moving forward? Let me tell you this, joy is the best kept secret of those who never seem to age. Joy does not ignore pain, no. Joy does not pretend there is no sorrow. But joy knows that sorrow is only a visitor, never a resident. Joy chooses to rise anyway. Joy chooses to smile, to love, to believe that something beautiful is always just around the corner. And that, my dear, is what keeps you young. Have you ever noticed how a child looks at the world? Eyes wide, full of wonder, full of curiosity. They laugh easily, they forgive quickly, they dance even when there is no music playing. And somewhere along the way, the world teaches us to stop, to be careful, to hold back. But oh, if you want to keep that glow, if you want to walk through this life with light in your spirit, you must unlearn what dulls you. You must return to joy. People will tell you that you need this cream, that diet, this routine to stay young. But let me tell you what you really need. You need to stay in love with life. You need to surround yourself with people who make you laugh until your sides hurt. You need to keep learning, keep growing, keep dreaming. You need to let go of grudges because nothing ages the soul faster than holding on to pain. You need to move your body, not because you are afraid of time, but because it feels good to dance, to stretch, to breathe deeply. And most of all, my dear, you need to be kind to others, yes, but also to yourself. Speak to yourself the way you would to a dear friend. Do not scold your reflection for the changes you see. Celebrate it for carrying you through this life. Let love settle into your bones. Let gratitude live in your heart, and watch how your spirit shines through your skin. So if you look younger than your age, it means your soul has refused to grow old. It means you have chosen joy over bitterness, love over fear, light over darkness. It means you are not just surviving, you are truly living. And my dear, there is no greater beauty than that. Oh, my dear ones, listen closely now. Time does not define you. The way you embrace life does. Do not let the ticking of the clock or the turning of the calendar tell you who you are. Do not let the world measure your worth by the years you have lived. For time, my dear, is not a chain to bind you. It is a river to carry you forward. And how you choose to sail upon it, how you decide to greet each new day, is what truly shapes you. I have seen people who count their years like burdens, who sigh with every birthday as if another candle on the cake is a weight upon their shoulders. And then I have seen others, older in number but younger in spirit, who wear their years like a crown, who dance through life with the wisdom of time but the heart of a child. The difference is not in age, it is in attitude. Somewhere along the way, the world teaches us to fear time. It tells us that youth is slipping through our fingers, that we must chase it, cling to it, do everything we can to keep it from running away. But let me tell you a truth that will set you free. Youth is not something you lose, it is something you carry with you, deep in your soul. It is in the way you laugh without hesitation. It is in the way you still find beauty in a sunrise. In the way you allow yourself to dream, in the way you open your heart to love. Oh, my dear, have you ever watched a river? It does not fight against the current, it flows. It moves forward with grace, knowing that each twist and turn, each rock and ripple is part of the journey. You must be like that river. Do not resist the passage of time. Do not fear the lines on your face, the silver in your hair. They are not signs of loss. They are marks of a life well lived. They are reminders that you have walked through storms and still found the strength to shine. I have met people who have lived long but never truly lived. They have spent their days worrying, regretting, holding on to things that no longer serve them. And I have met others who have danced through life no matter their age because they understood this simple truth. Every single day is a gift. And what you do with that gift, how you fill those hours and moments, is what determines whether you grow old or whether you grow wise, whether you fade or whether you shine. You must not count your years. You must make your years count. You must wake up each morning with gratitude in your heart and curiosity in your soul. You must chase sunsets, read books that set your mind on fire, listen to music that makes your spirit soar. You must surround yourself with people who lift you up, who remind you to laugh, who see the light in you even when you forget it's there. Do not let the world tell you that you are too old to start something new, too old to chase a dream, too old to dance barefoot in the grass or learn a new song. The only thing that ages you is the belief that you are running out of time. My dear, time is not running out. It is waiting for you to embrace it. It is waiting for you to live fully, to love deeply, to shine brightly. So if you look younger than your age, it means you have refused to let time define you. It means you have chosen to live with an open heart, to see beauty in the ordinary, to keep moving forward with hope in your soul. It means you understand that life is not about the years you have lived, but about the love you have given, the laughter you have shared, and the joy you have embraced. And my dear, there is nothing more timeless than that. Oh, my dear ones, hear me when I say this. Laughter and kindness are the most powerful anti-aging remedies. Not the expensive creams, not the endless routines, not the desperate chase to turn back the hands of time. No, no, the secret has always been simpler, always been within reach. It is in the way you laugh without holding back, in the way you pour kindness into the world as if your heart knows no limits. I have seen faces untouched by time, not because they have never known hardship, but because they have never let hardship take away their joy. Oh, my dear, joy is the fountain of youth. It lives in the laughter that bursts from your lips when you find something truly funny, in the way your body shakes when you laugh so hard you can barely breathe. Have you ever watched a child laugh? Have you seen how their whole being lights up, how their eyes dance with the sheer delight of the moment? That, my dear, is what keeps you young. Not resisting the passage of time, but embracing the beauty of the now. But laughter alone is not enough, no. It must be paired with kindness. A kind heart is the truest form of beauty. And oh, how it radiates from within. You have seen it, haven't you? The people who walk into a room and bring warmth with them, the ones who listen with gentle patience, who give without expecting, who carry no bitterness in their souls. They glow, my dear. They shine in a way that no treatment, no secret potion, no artificial trick can ever match. Their kindness is the reason their faces look untouched by worry, unburdened by regret. Let me tell you, the weight of anger, resentment, and envy will age you faster than any number of years ever could. You see it in those who refuse to let go of grudges, in those who scowl more than they smile, who carry every slight, every wound, every sorrow, as if it is their duty to never forget. Their steps grow heavy, their hearts become weary, and before long, it shows. It shows in their eyes, in their posture, in the way they carry themselves through this world. But those who choose kindness, those who forgive, those who lift others even when they themselves are struggling, oh, they have discovered the secret to staying young. I have seen it with my own eyes. I have seen people who have walked through fire and still emerged with love in their hearts. I have seen people who have faced loss and yet greet each day with gratitude. These are the ones who defy time. These are the ones who refuse to let life harden them. And in return, life rewards them with a glow that cannot be bought, cannot be faked. It is real and it is undeniable. So laugh, my dear. Laugh often and laugh freely. Find reasons to laugh every single day, even in the smallest of moments. And be kind not just to others, but to yourself. Speak gently to your own heart. Forgive yourself as easily as you forgive those you love. Let go of what does not serve you and watch how light you begin to feel. If you look younger than your age, it means you have chosen laughter over bitterness, kindness over anger, joy over fear. It means you understand that true beauty is not in the years you have lived, but in the love you have given, the laughter you have shared, and the kindness you have carried in your heart. And my dear, there is no greater glow than that. Oh, my dear ones, lean in close and hear me well. Resilience keeps you strong, but gratitude keeps you radiant. Strength alone can carry you through storms, but it is gratitude that makes sure you do not come out weary, burdened, and heavy with sorrow. It is gratitude that lets you walk through fire and still shine like gold. Life will test you. It will push and pull, bend and stretch you in ways you never thought possible. There will be moments when the weight of the world feels too much, when the road ahead seems too long. But let me tell you something. Strength is not just in standing tall when times are easy. Strength is in rising when life tries to knock you down. Strength is in carrying your struggles without letting them break your spirit. But listen now, because here is the secret. Strength alone is not enough. You can be strong and still be weary, still be worn, still be carrying the weight of everything that has ever hurt you. Strength is what gets you through the battle, but gratitude is what makes sure the battle does not stay in your bones. Gratitude, my dear, is the light in the darkness. It is the warmth that fills your soul even when the world feels cold. It is the difference between surviving and truly living. I have seen people who have walked through sorrow, through loss, through pain, and yet their faces glow as if the sun itself lives within them. And I have seen others who have been given every comfort, every ease, and yet they look tired, drained, aged by the weight of dissatisfaction. The difference is never in what life has given or taken away. It is in what the heart chooses to hold on to. You see, my dear, gratitude does not erase pain, but it softens it. It does not mean you ignore your struggles, but it reminds you that even in the hardest of times, there is still something beautiful to hold on to. The sun still rises, the flowers still bloom, laughter still exists, love is still here. Gratitude is what keeps your spirit young, your heart light, your soul untouched by the heaviness of the world. Have you ever met someone who carries an unshakable peace? Someone whose presence feels like a breath of fresh air? It is not because they have never known hardship. It is because they have chosen to see beyond it. They do not count their losses more than they count their blessings. They do not dwell in the darkness longer than they need to. They move forward, not because life has been easy, but because they refuse to let it make them bitter. And oh, how that kind of spirit shines, how it keeps the years from settling on your skin. Gratitude turns every wrinkle into a story of laughter. It turns every scar into proof of survival. It turns every day, no matter how ordinary, into something worth celebrating. So hold on to gratitude, my dear. Let it be the song in your heart, the light in your eyes, the peace in your soul. Find something to be thankful for every single day, even when life makes it difficult, especially when life makes it difficult, because gratitude is not just about appreciating the good, it is about finding beauty in the midst of the struggle. It is about knowing that no matter what, you are still here, still breathing, still capable of joy. If you look younger than your age, it means you have chosen gratitude over complaint, appreciation over regret, joy over sorrow. It means you understand that true beauty is not in the years you have lived, but in the love you have given, the laughter you have shared, and the gratitude you have carried in your heart. And my dear, there is no greater radiance than that. Oh, my dear ones, listen closely, because this truth will set you free. Bitterness adds years, while forgiveness takes them away. You do not wear the weight of your pain on your shoulders alone. You wear it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself, in the way your spirit moves through the world. Nothing will age you faster than holding on to anger, than letting resentment settle in your bones. And nothing will keep you younger, lighter, and freer than the power of letting go. I've seen it before. I have seen people who carry their wounds like armor, believing that if they never let go of the pain, they can never be hurt again. But oh, my dear, that is not protection, it is a prison. Bitterness locks you away from joy, from laughter, from love. It stiffens the body, it hardens the face, it drains the light from your eyes. It does not just age you, it withers you from the inside out. And then I have seen those who have every reason to be bitter, every reason to be angry, and yet they shine. They have walked through betrayal, through heartbreak, through loss, and still they smile, still they move with grace. Still they laugh, they love, they live. And when you ask them how, they will tell you one thing: they chose to forgive. Forgiveness, my dear, is not about saying that what hurt you was right. It is not about pretending the pain did not happen. It is about refusing to let that pain shape the rest of your life. It is about setting down the heavy burden you were never meant to carry. Do you know how light you will feel when you finally release it? When you stop gripping the past so tightly that your hands forget how to hold anything else? Oh, my dear, I know what you are thinking, but they don't deserve my forgiveness. And maybe they don't. Maybe they will never ask for it, never earn it, never change. But forgiveness is not for them, it is for you. It is not about excusing them. It is about setting yourself free. Because while you hold on to anger, they go on living. While you carry the weight of what they did, they move forward unburdened. And why should you be the one to suffer? Why should you let them take one more second of your joy, one more moment of your peace? Letting go does not mean forgetting. It means choosing yourself. It means deciding that your heart is too precious to be weighed down by the past. It means clearing the space in your soul so that love has room to grow again. It means turning your face toward the light even after walking through the darkness. Have you ever met someone who forgives easily, who does not let grudges settle in their heart? Look at them, my dear. Look at the way they move, the way they smile, the way they radiate peace. That is not just happiness, it is youth. It is freedom. It is the kind of beauty that no mirror can reflect, but everyone can see. Because when you are free inside, it shows. It shines from your skin. It sparkles in your laughter. It moves in your step. So do not let bitterness steal your years. Do not let resentment carve lines on your face, weigh down your shoulders, cloud your heart. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you do. Because your joy, your peace, your light are worth more than whatever they did to you. If you look younger than your age, It means you have chosen forgiveness over bitterness, freedom over chains, peace over pain. It means you understand that true beauty is not in the years you have lived, but in the love you have given, the laughter you have shared, and the forgiveness you have carried in your heart. And my dear, there is no greater lightness than that. Oh, my dear ones, listen to me now. Stress will steal your glow, but inner peace will preserve it. It is not the years that age you, no. It is the weight you carry in your mind, the worries you stack upon your heart, the anxieties you let settle into your soul. The body hears everything the mind whispers. And when the mind is restless, when it is tangled in fears and doubts, the body follows. It stiffens, it tires, it wears the burden like a heavy cloak. I have seen it with my own eyes. I have seen people who have lived only a handful of years, yet carry themselves as if they have walked 100 lifetimes. Their shoulders droop, their faces crease, not from laughter, but from worry. Their spirits are weary, their breath shallow, as if they have forgotten how to truly live. And then I have seen those whose numbers are higher, whose days have been long, yet they move with lightness, with ease. Their faces are bright, their eyes are calm, their laughter flows like a river untouched by drought. The difference, my dear, is not in age, but in peace, not in time, but in the way they have learned to let it move through them without fear. Stress is a thief. It robs you of rest, of joy, of the simple pleasure of being here right now. It gnaws at the edges of your happiness, always whispering, what if, what next, what now? But you must not let it settle in your soul. You must not let it take root, because the longer you hold it, the deeper it digs in, the more it shapes you, the more it dulls your shine. Have you ever stood by the ocean and watched the waves roll in? They do not resist. They do not fight the wind or curse the tide. They come, they go, they surrender to the rhythm of life itself. And that, my dear, is the secret. You must learn to let go. You must learn to breathe, to trust, to stop gripping the wheel so tightly that your own hands ache from holding on too hard. Oh, I know. The world will tell you that stress is necessary, that worry is proof of responsibility. But let me tell you a truth. The sky does not worry about the rain, and yet it still holds the sun. The trees do not stress about the seasons, yet they still bloom. And you, my dear, you must learn to live like that. To trust that what is meant for you will find its way, that no amount of worry will change the course of what is already written. Do you know what peace looks like? It looks like a face untouched by fear. It looks like a heart that does not race at every challenge, a mind that does not spiral into chaos with every change. Peace is not the absence of problems, my dear. It is the presence of trust. It is standing in the storm and knowing that you will not be blown away. It is sitting in the unknown and still finding comfort. So guard your peace. Protect it as you would a rare jewel, because it is worth more than gold, more than youth, more than anything that can be touched or bought. Walk away from the things that disturb it. Release the thoughts that do not serve it. Learn to breathe deeply, to sit in silence without restlessness, to let go of what you cannot control. And oh, how you will glow, how your face will soften, how your body will move without tension, how your laughter will come without hesitation, because peace is not just felt. It is seen, it is carried, it radiates from within. And when you have it, my dear, time cannot touch you. If you look younger than your age, it means you have chosen peace over worry, trust over fear, surrender over control. It means you understand that true beauty is not in the years you have lived, but in the love you have given, the laughter you have shared, and the peace you have carried in your heart. And my dear, there is no greater stillness than that. Oh, my dear ones, hear me well. Love will keep you young. Not the kind of love that demands, not the kind that controls, Not the kind that comes and goes like a passing storm. No, I am speaking of love that is steady, love that is given freely, love that does not shrink but expands, the kind of love that lives in your laughter, in your kindness, in the way you pour yourself into the world without fear of running empty. I have seen love stretch time. I have seen it soften lines on the face, brighten tired eyes, lift weary shoulders. Love is not just something you give to another. It is something you live, something you breathe, something that becomes part of you so deeply that it cannot be separated from who you are. It is in the way you cherish those around you, in the way you hold a hand, in the way you listen with your whole heart. It is in the way you see the world, not as a place to conquer, but as a place to nurture. And oh, my dear, love is not just for others. It is for you too. Because what is the use of loving the whole world if you cannot love the person you see in the mirror? If you cannot greet yourself with kindness, if you cannot forgive yourself, if you cannot look at your own reflection with warmth, then what good is love at all? You must first let it settle in your own heart before you can give it to anyone else. You must learn to speak gently to yourself, to hold your own hand in moments of sorrow, to celebrate your own victories, no matter how small. I have seen people who are surrounded by love yet do not let it in. They push it away, question it, doubt it, and in doing so, they age, not from time, but from loneliness, from the weight of walls built too high. And then I have seen others who have nothing but love to give, who walk through life with open arms, who embrace the world even when it does not always embrace them back. And my dear, they glow, they shine. They carry something that no age can dull, no hardship can steal. Because love is not about having the perfect life, the perfect partner, the perfect circumstances. Love is about how you choose to show up in this world. It is about how you see people, how you touch their lives, how you remind them and yourself that goodness still exists. It is about the quiet moments, the deep laughter, the hands held, the words spoken softly in the dark. It is about loving even when life has given you every reason to close your heart. And do you know what love does? It lightens you. It takes the burdens you thought you had to carry alone and makes them feel lighter. It softens the hard edges of life, fills the empty spaces, turns even the most ordinary moments into something beautiful. Love does not erase the years, my dear, but it makes sure they do not weigh you down. So love, my dear, love fiercely, love gently, love with your whole heart. Love your friends, your family, the world, yourself. Let love be the thing that defines you, not your fears, not your regrets, not the things you wish you could change. Let love shape you. Let it guide you. Let it be the thing you leave behind long after your footsteps have faded. If you look younger than your age, it means you have chosen love over fear, warmth over coldness, connection over isolation. It means you understand that true beauty is not in the years you have lived, but in the love you have given, the laughter you have shared, and the kindness you have carried in your heart. And my dear, there is no greater joy than that. Oh, my dear ones, if there is one thing you take with you from these words, let it be this: true youth, true beauty, true radiance do not live in the skin, but in the spirit. It is not time that decides how you shine, but the choices you make, the love you give, the peace you carry. It is in the way you embrace joy, the way you release burdens, the way you let gratitude fill the spaces where worry once lived. You are not defined by the years behind you, nor should you fear the years ahead. If you walk with love, if you let go of bitterness, if you hold on to laughter and surround yourself with light, then time will have no hold on you. You will not just live, you will glow. You will inspire. You will become a testament to the kind of beauty that never fades. So go forth, my dear ones. Let your spirit be light, your heart be full, your laughter be endless. May you walk this world with kindness. May you meet each day with gratitude, and may you always remember that the most radiant version of yourself is the one who chooses love above all else. Good luck on your journey. May your days be bright and may your heart remain forever young. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Oh, my dear ones, let me tell you something about love. Not the kind that flutters and fizzles. Not the kind that tiptoes in the night and leaves at dawn. No, I am talking about love that roots itself in the marrow of your bones. The kind that sets up house in your soul. Love is not just a feeling, not just a whisper in the wind. It is a decision. A dance between heart and mind, between reason and passion. Your brain, oh, that beautiful, complicated, miraculous thing, has been working its magic long before you ever knew love had come calling. You see, love is chemistry. Love is biology. Love is the spark of a million tiny signals racing through your nerves, telling you, yes, this is the one. But more than that, love is a force, a builder of bridges, a healer of wounds. It is the light that seeps through the cracks of loneliness and says, I see you. I know you. I am here. Oh, my dear ones, let me tell you something about love. Not the fairy tales you've been told, not the sudden magic of a glance across a crowded room. Love is deeper than that. It is richer, fuller, wiser. Love is not just an emotion, not just a rush of excitement when someone speaks your name in a way that makes you feel brand new. No, love is built in the quiet corners of the mind, in the sacred spaces of the soul, and in the choices we make day after day. Your brain, this miraculous creation, is not just a bystander in love. It does not sit back and wait for Cupid's arrow. No. It is working, shaping, deciding long before your heart even understands what is happening. Love is chemistry, yes. A rush of dopamine when someone makes you laugh. A flood of oxytocin when you hold them close. A dance of neurons creating a map of memories, making their voice the safest sound in the world. But, my dear one, love is more than chemistry. It is intention. It is waking up each day and choosing that person, choosing to be kind when frustration rises, choosing to stay when the storms roll in. Your brain does not fall in love just once. It does so over and over again in every moment of understanding, in every act of patience, in every whispered, I am here. Love is not the firework explosion. It is the steady flame that refuses to die. Now listen carefully, because this is the part too many forget. Love is also a choice. Yes, the brain is wired to seek connection, to crave the touch of another, to find comfort in the presence of someone who sees us truly. But it is not blind. It knows. It knows when love is healthy, when it lifts and carries and strengthens. It also knows when love is heavy, when it bruises instead of heals, when it asks us to become something smaller just to fit inside it. Love must be chosen with wisdom. You see, your brain does not just fall in love, it learns. It memorizes the way love should feel based on what you allow, on what you accept, on what you believe you deserve. If you accept less than what you are worthy of, the mind adjusts. It reshapes its expectations. And soon, you find yourself calling something love that does not nurture, that does not grow, that does not build. So, my dear one, do not be fooled into thinking love is something that simply happens to you. No, love is something you create. It is something you sustain. It is something you must protect. Do not let the wrong hands hold your heart and convince you it is love. Let your mind be as much a guide as your heart, because love should never cost you your peace, your joy, or your sense of self. And when you do find that kind of love, the kind that is both felt and chosen, the kind that is both fire and warmth, passion and patience, hold it with care, honor it. Let it be the kind of love that teaches, that heals, that stands the test of time. Because love, real love, is not fleeting. It is built in the quiet moments, in the gentle choices, in the way two souls decide to walk this life together, hand in hand, mind to mind, heart to heart. So, love deeply, but love wisely. Love freely, but love yourself first. And when love finds you, let it be the kind that lifts, the kind that grows, the kind that stays. Let me tell you something that too many forget. Love is not just something you fall into. It is not a pit waiting for you to tumble in, not a force that drags you under without your say. No. Love is something your brain builds, something it nurtures, something it clings to with all its might. Love is not just an accident of the heart. It is a masterpiece created by the mind. When you first meet someone who sparks something inside you, your brain begins its work. It releases chemicals, setting off fireworks in your veins, making their laughter sound like music, making their presence feel like home. That rush, that dizzying joy. It is not magic, my dear. It is science. It is the beautiful collision of dopamine and oxytocin, the dance of serotonin and endorphins, all conspiring to make you feel like the world is brighter, like the air is lighter, like time itself has slowed to make room for this moment. But love does not stop there. No, the brain does not merely fall. It commits, it invests. It weaves memories into the fabric of your being. It takes every soft word, every stolen glance, every shared secret, and it builds something solid, something lasting. Love is not just felt, it is wired into you, stitched into the very essence of who you are. That is why love lingers, why a simple song can pull you back to a moment long gone, why the scent of a familiar perfume can stop you in your tracks. And here is where love becomes more than just a fleeting emotion, because the brain does not only fall, it fights. It fights for the love it believes in, for the bonds it has built, for the people it has made a home out of. It holds on even when distance creeps in, even when hardships knock at the door, even when the world says, let go. Your brain, oh, that stubborn, devoted thing, will try to keep love alive. Will search for the moments of warmth in the midst of the cold. Will find reasons to stay even when the road is rough. But my dear one, here is what you must remember. Love should not be a battle you wage alone. The brain fights for love, yes, but love must fight for you too. It must be a place of safety, a place of growth, a place where your mind and soul are nurtured, not drained. Do not mistake struggle for devotion. Do not believe that love must always be hard to be real. The brain may be willing to hold on, but you must teach it when to let go. When to stop chasing what is no longer there, when to choose peace over pain. Love is not just an accident. It is a force, a creation, a living, breathing thing that must be cared for. And when love is right, when it is kind, when it is steady, when it is true, your brain does not just hold on to it, it thrives in it. It expands in it. It becomes the best version of itself because of it. Love is not meant to break you down. It is meant to build you up, to fill you with light, to remind you that in a world of billions, someone has chosen you again and again. So do not settle for a love that only makes your heart race. Seek the one that makes your soul rest. Do not chase the love that confuses your mind. Embrace the one that brings you clarity, that makes you feel seen, that makes you feel whole. And if ever your mind tells you to fight for love, make sure that love is fighting just as hard for you. Listen closely now, because this is something the world will try to make you forget. Love is not about losing yourself. It is not about bending until you break, not about shrinking until you disappear, not about twisting yourself into something smaller just so someone else can feel big. No, love, real love, does not ask you to fade, it asks you to shine. When your brain falls in love, it does not erase you, it does not wipe away the person you have spent years becoming, it does not demand that you trade your dreams for someone else's comfort, your voice for someone else's song. Love, the kind that is worth keeping, does not take from you, it adds to you, it lifts you up. It reminds you every single day that you are not meant to be hidden, not meant to be silenced, not meant to be anything less than exactly who you are. Your brain, this brilliant, beautiful thing, does not fall in love blindly. It learns, it adapts, it remembers. It tells you what love should feel like based on what you allow, what you tolerate, what you tell yourself is enough. And if you have ever found yourself lost inside love, if you have ever woken up one day and realized you do not recognize the person in the mirror, know this: it does not have to be that way. Love should not consume you. Love should not make you forget the sound of your own laughter, the weight of your own worth, because love, when it is true, is not about losing yourself. It is about discovering more of who you are. It is about growth. It is about becoming. It is about standing beside someone who does not just love you as you are, but who also loves the person you are still becoming. And you, my dear, are always becoming. You are always evolving, always unfolding into something greater, something wiser, something more. Do not let love trap you in one place. Do not let it convince you that you must stay small to be held. Love should stretch you, yes, but never in a way that breaks you. It should challenge you, but never in a way that leaves you doubting your worth. Love should inspire you to reach higher, to dream bigger, to step boldly into the life that was always meant for you. And when love is right, when it is healthy, when it is whole, it will never be threatened by your growth. It will never ask you to choose between love and yourself. Your brain, with all its wisdom, does not just fall in love. It protects love, nurtures love, learns what love should be. And if love ever makes you feel small, if it ever asks you to be less so that someone else can be more, listen to the voice inside you that whispers, "This is not love." Because love does not ask you to disappear. It does not demand that you give up the things that bring you joy, the passions that set your soul on fire, the pieces of yourself that make you you. So stand tall in love, grow in love, become more in love. And if ever love tells you that you must shrink, that you must silence yourself, that you must disappear to keep it, then that is not love, my dear one. That is a cage. And you were never meant to live in one. When I say this, love is a reflection. The love you welcome into your life, the love you hold on to, the love you accept is a mirror of what you believe you deserve. It is not just chance, not just fate, not just some accident of the heart. No, your brain, your beautiful, brilliant brain learns love from the way you treat yourself. It memorizes the way you speak to yourself, the way you carry yourself, the way you forgive yourself, and it tells you this is what love should look like. If you believe love is struggle, you will embrace the hands that make you fight for every ounce of it. If you believe love is pain, you will mistake the ache of longing for the thrill of devotion. If you believe love is something you must earn, you will spend your days proving your worth to people who should have seen it from the start. But my dear one, love is not meant to be a battle, and it is not a prize to be won. Love is the gentle knowing that you are enough just as you are. Your brain, that wondrous thing, does not simply fall in love. It follows paths. It recognizes what is familiar, even if what is familiar is unkind. It seeks comfort, even if comfort means staying in places that do not nurture you. It learns from the past, from the way you have been treated, from the way you have treated yourself. And if you have never taught your mind what true love looks like, oh, my dear, it will settle for far less than you deserve. So listen to me now, because this may be the most important thing you will ever learn about love. You must teach your brain, your heart, your very soul what love is supposed to be. You must show it through every kind word you speak to yourself, through every boundary you set, through every time you walk away from something that does not honor you. You must be the first to love yourself, the first to cherish yourself, the first to say, I am worthy of something beautiful, because only when you believe that, only when you know it deep in your bones, will you stop accepting anything less. And do not be afraid, my dear one, if this takes time. Unlearning is a process. Healing is a journey. You may find yourself drawn back to the love that left you empty, back to the hands that never held you gently, back to the voices that told you love must be hard. But the more you remind yourself of your worth, the more you choose love that feels like peace instead of war, the more your brain will rewire itself to seek what is right, to embrace what is whole, to welcome love that does not ask you to bleed to prove it is real. You are worthy of love that is gentle, love that does not make you beg, love that does not come and go like the tide, love that does not leave you questioning whether you are enough. You are worthy of love that sees you fully, completely, and still chooses you, not because you have proven yourself, not because you have fought for it, but because you are deserving. So raise your worth, my dear. Speak kindly to yourself. Treat yourself as if you are someone you love, because you are. And when love comes knocking, let it be the kind that reflects the way you have learned to love yourself. Patient, steady, whole, because that is the love that will last. Love is not about possession. It is not about caging a soul, not about holding so tightly that it cannot breathe, not about gripping someone so hard that they feel they must fight to be free. No, love is about connection. Love is about growth. Love is about freedom. The kind that allows two souls to stand side by side, not bound, not owned, but chosen. Again and again, your brain, this miraculous thing, does not fall in love to claim or to own. It does not whisper, you belong to me and only me. No, real love, whole love, healthy love does not fear freedom. It does not shackle, does not trap, does not ask someone to become small so they will never leave. Love, my dear, is not a lock, it is an open door. And the beauty of love is in the choosing, not the keeping. When your brain falls in love, it wants to hold on. It forms bonds deep and strong, and those bonds tell you this is home, this is safe, this is where I want to be. But love, real love, does not mean control, does not mean ownership. It does not mean shaping someone into what makes you comfortable, molding them to fit inside your expectations, cutting away the pieces of them that reach too far, shine too bright, dream too big. No, love is not about making someone stay. It is about making them want to. And that is where so many get love wrong. They think love means keeping, means claiming, means saying, you are mine and I will not let you go. But my dear, the most powerful love does not come from holding on. It comes from letting be. It comes from standing beside someone and saying, I do not need to chain you to me because I trust that you will stay. And when love is built on trust instead of fear, when it is nurtured with care instead of control, when it is allowed to breathe instead of being suffocated, it thrives. Because love that is built on possession will always crumble under the weight of its own fear. It will always be a battle, always be a question, always be a desperate grasp to keep something that was never meant to be owned in the first place. But love that is built on freedom, on choice, on respect, that love is unshakable. That love does not fade when distance comes, does not wither when life changes, does not break at the first sign of trouble. That love is strong because it is not forced, because it is given, because it is real. Your brain does not just fall in love, it learns what love should be. And if you have ever felt the need to grip too tightly, to hold on too hard, to fear that love will disappear the moment you loosen your grasp, then hear me now. Love is not something you lose by setting it free. The right love, the real love, will not run at the first taste of freedom. It will not disappear when given space to breathe. It will not vanish because love, true love, does not stay because it has to. It stays because it wants to. So love with open hands, my dear one. Love with trust. love without fear. And when you do, you will find that the love that stays, the love that grows, the love that chooses you, not because it is bound, not because it is forced, but because it is free, that love is the kind that lasts. Love is not just about how someone makes you feel. It is not just about the way their laughter lights up a room or the way their touch sends warmth through your skin. No, love is about action. Love is about showing up. Love is about what someone chooses to do, not just what they promise, not just what they say, not just the sweet words whispered in the dark. Your brain, this wise and wonderful thing, does not fall in love with words alone. It does not believe in poetry without proof, in promises without action, in love that exists only in the air but never in reality. No, your brain learns love from experience. It watches, it remembers, it studies the way someone treats you, the way they show up when times are hard, the way they hold on to you when the storms roll in. Your heart may be fooled by a beautiful lie, but your brain, oh my dear one, your brain knows the truth. Because love is not just something that is said. Love is something that is done. It is in the way they listen when you speak, the way they hold you when the world feels heavy, the way they stand beside you when life tries to shake you down. Love is effort. Love is consistency. Love is in the choices made every single day, the choice to be kind when it is easier to be cruel, the choice to be patient when frustration rises, the choice to stay when leaving seems simpler. And if love is only words, only pretty sentences and empty vows, then my dear one, that is not love. It is an illusion. Because love that is real, love that is steady, love that is worth keeping does not just speak, it moves, it acts. It proves itself again and again, not because it has to, not because it is forced, but because love, real love, wants to show up. It wants to build. It wants to be known not just by what is said, but by what is done. So do not let yourself be blinded by words. Do not mistake empty promises for devotion. Do not believe in a love that does not show itself in action. Your heart is precious. Your soul is rare. And the love you accept should be one that holds, one that nurtures, one that stands tall when the winds blow. Love that is real does not vanish when tested. It does not disappear when life gets difficult. It does not crumble at the first sign of hardship. Love that is real will be there, not just in the light, not just in the joy, but in the moments that truly matter. And when you find that kind of love, the kind that is strong, the kind that is steady, the kind that is shown, hold it with care, honor it, return it with the same devotion. Because love is not a feeling that simply exists in the heart. It is a force that is proven in the world. And the love that lasts, the love that endures, the love that becomes something unshakable is the love that shows up. Because this is the truth too many forget. Love is not meant to complete you. It is not a missing piece, not the half of a whole. Not something you must find to be worthy, to be full, to be enough. No, love is not the thing that makes you whole. You are the thing that makes you. Love is not about filling an emptiness. It is about sharing a fullness. It is about two souls standing side by side, not leaning, not depending, not holding on for dear life, but walking together, strong in themselves, strong in each other. Your brain, this incredible ever-learning thing, does not fall in love because it is empty. It does not seek love because it is broken. No, your brain falls in love because it longs to connect, because it longs to build, because it longs to share the joy, the laughter, the sorrow, the growth of this beautiful, unpredictable life. But love, my dear one, should never be the thing that holds you together. It should never be the glue that keeps you from falling apart. Because if you place all of your weight, all of your happiness, all of your reason for being in the hands of another, what happens when they leave? What happens when love changes? What happens when the thing you thought was your saving grace disappears? No, my dear, you must be whole on your own. You must know your worth not because someone tells you, but because you have discovered it for yourself. You must love yourself not because someone else loves you, but because you have learned to cherish the person you are becoming. You must stand tall in your own strength, not because someone is holding you up, but because you have found your own foundation, solid and unwavering beneath your feet. And here is the most beautiful part. When you are whole on your own, when you do not look to love to save you, to fix you, to complete you, you will find a love that is truer, deeper, more powerful than anything you have ever known. Because that kind of love, the love that does not come from need but from choice, is the love that is free. It is the love that is not built on desperation, not built on fear, not built on the idea that without it you are nothing. It is the love that is given freely, not because it must be, but because it wants to be. And when two whole people come together in love, oh, my dear, that is the kind of love that moves mountains. That is the love that does not break under pressure, that does not crumble at the first sign of trouble, that does not falter when life gets hard. That is the love that grows, that expands, that lifts both people higher instead of weighing them down. So do not wait for love to complete you. Do not search for someone to fill the spaces inside you. Do not believe that you are only half until love finds you. You are already whole. You are already enough. You are already everything you were meant to be. And when love comes, not to save you, not to fix you, but to walk beside you in all that you are, that is the love that will last. Oh, my dear ones, if there is one thing you take with you from these words, let it be this. Love is not a mystery your heart must solve. It is not a game to be won, not a storm to be endured, not a fire that burns you down to prove it is real. No, love, true love, is a light, a force, a choice. It is something that should lift you, not weigh you down. It is something that should make you more, not less. Your brain, your heart, your soul, each of them holds the power to shape the love you welcome into your life. You are not at the mercy of love. You are not a ship tossed by its waves. You are the captain, the creator, the chooser. And when you understand that, when you love yourself enough to demand more, when you refuse to settle for anything less than love that is kind, love that is steady, love that is whole, that is when you will find the love that was meant for you. So stand tall in love. Love with open hands. Love with freedom, with trust, with certainty in your worth. Let love be an addition to your life, not the reason for it. And when love finds you, when love chooses you, when love stays, not because it must, but because it wants to, hold it with care. Honor it, return it with the same devotion, and never forget, you are already whole, already worthy, already enough. Go forward with love, with wisdom, with courage to choose the love you deserve. And wherever love takes you, may it always bring you home to yourself. Good luck, my dear ones, and thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, my dear ones, listen to me. Come close, lean in, and hear me well. There is no perfect parent, no, not one, but there is love, there is patience. There is a way to raise up a child so they walk with their heads high, their shoulders strong, their hearts open to the world. Ideal parenting is not in the grandness of things. It is not in gold coins or silken robes. It is in the hush of bedtime stories, the firm hand guiding small feet across a room, the whispered prayer over a sleeping child. It is in the eyes that say you matter long before the world tries to convince them otherwise. You see, a child is not clay to be molded, not stone to be chiseled. A child is a garden, wild and free, growing toward the sun. And you, dear parent, are the keeper of that garden. You do not force a rose to be a daisy. You do not shame a river for flowing fast or slow. You nourish, you prune, you stand guard against the storm. Speak words that build, not break. Let discipline be a lesson, not a weapon. Teach them to rise, yes, but teach them also to be kind. The world is already heavy with sharp tongues and rough hands. Let them not find that in you. My dear ones, listen closely, for this is the foundation upon which all else stands. Before the lessons, before the rules, before the guiding hands and the gentle, or not so gentle, corrections, there must be love. Love first, teach second. A child enters this world with wide eyes and open hands, reaching for something steady, something sure. They do not yet know the weight of expectations, the burden of perfection, the sting of disappointment. What they do know, what they seek, is love, pure, unconditional, unwavering. It is the soil in which they will grow, the light that will stretch them toward their greatest heights. Without it, lessons fall on hardened ground. Discipline is met with rebellion, and wisdom is lost in the winds of doubt. If you wish to teach, you must first love. And love, my dear ones, is not a whispered word thrown carelessly into the air. It is action. It is patience. It is the space you create where a child feels seen, heard, and held. It is in the way you lower yourself to their level, look them in the eyes, and let them know you matter. It is in the tone of your voice when frustration bubbles, in the strength of your arms when their world feels unsteady. Some will say that love alone is not enough to raise a child, and in many ways they are right. Love does not mean letting them run wild, unchecked, untaught. It does not mean indulging every whim, fearing to say no, or allowing them to grow without guidance. No, love is not the absence of discipline, but the foundation of it. For when love is present, discipline is understood as care, not cruelty. When love is present, a correction does not feel like rejection. When love is present, a child does not simply obey, they trust. A child who is loved learns to love. A child who is valued learns to value. A child who is spoken to with kindness learns to speak kindly. You see, love is the beginning of all teaching, the root of all wisdom, the force that shapes character before words even take hold. Speak love into them before the world speaks doubt. Show love in your actions before the world shows indifference. Let their first lessons be ones of warmth and security so that when life grows cold, they will know where to return. Too often we rush to teach without first anchoring them in love. We demand respect without first showing them what respect looks like. We expect strength without first giving them the courage to stand. But if a child knows deep in their bones that they are loved fully, fiercely, without condition, they will be willing to listen, willing to learn, willing to trust the lessons you offer. So love them first, my dear ones. Love them loudly, love them deeply, love them in the small moments and the grand ones alike. Let love be the first lesson they learn and the one they never forget. And when they are grown, when they have faced the world and all its storms, they will stand strong, not just because they were taught, but because they were loved. A child watches before they listen. They see before they understand. Long before your words take root, your actions have already planted seeds. If you wish to raise a child of integrity, of kindness, of strength, you must first be those things yourself. You must be the mirror, not just the voice. Too often, we believe that children learn only through instruction. We speak and expect them to absorb. We correct and expect them to obey. We advise and expect them to follow. But children are not empty vessels, simply waiting to be filled with words. No, they are observant, keen, always studying, always absorbed. Not just what you say, but how you say it. Not just what you do, but how you do it. If you tell a child to be patient, but they see you snap at the smallest inconvenience, they will learn impatience. If you tell a child to be honest, but they hear you twist the truth when it is convenient, they will learn deception. If you tell a child to be kind, but they watch you treat others with indifference, they will learn that kindness is just a word, not a way of living. Your life is their first classroom. The way you handle frustration teaches them how to face challenges. The way you treat strangers teaches them the value of respect. The way you love teaches them how to love in return. You cannot demand what you do not demonstrate. You cannot expect what you do not embody. A child will follow the path they see walked before them, not the one simply described to them in words. A home built on lectures, but lacking an example, will raise children who nod in agreement but live in contradiction. They will know the words, but not the meaning. They will hear the rules, but not believe in their worth. But a home built on example, on consistency, on living the lessons you wish to teach, that home will raise children who do not simply follow instructions, but who understand their value. It is not enough to tell them to respect others. You must show them respect in the way you listen to them, the way you acknowledge their feelings, the way you honor your own word. It is not enough to tell them to be courageous. You must show them courage in the way you stand firm in truth, in the way you face difficulties with grace. It is not enough to tell them to love themselves. You must show them self-love in the way you care for your own soul. A child's eyes are always searching for a reflection of what they should become. Let them see something worthy. Let them see a life of integrity, a heart of compassion, a spirit of resilience. Let them see what love looks like in action, what strength looks like in grace, what wisdom looks like in practice. And when they walk out into the world, when they stand on their own 2 feet and face all that life will bring, they will not just carry your words, they will carry your example. They will live what they have seen, not just what they have heard. Discipline is not a battle. It is not a contest of strength, a war of wills, or a test of authority. It is a lesson, a shaping, a guiding of young hearts and minds toward wisdom, toward responsibility, toward goodness. It is correction, yes, but correction without destruction. It is firmness, yes, but firmness without cruelty. It is not a tool of fear, but a bridge to understanding. A child is not meant to be broken. They are not to be bent until their spirit folds, their voice weakens, their spark dims. Discipline that wounds teaches only fear, and fear is a poor teacher. Fear does not breed respect, it breeds resentment. Fear does not cultivate wisdom, it stifles growth. A child raised in fear may obey in your presence, but in your absence they will either rebel against the chains or shrink beneath their weight. Neither is the goal of discipline. The goal is not blind obedience. The goal is understanding, self-control, and a heart that chooses right, not because it fears punishment, but because it knows the value of rightness. Too often we confuse control with guidance. We believe that raising a well-behaved child means wielding discipline like a weapon, demanding instant compliance, ruling with an iron hand. But true discipline is not about control, it is about teaching. It is about shaping character, not just behavior. A child who understands why they must choose kindness over cruelty, truth over lies, patience over impulsiveness. That child will not only behave well under your watchful eye, but will carry those lessons into the world when no one is watching. Words hold power. How you correct matters just as much as what you correct. Speak in anger, and the lesson will be lost in the force of your voice. Speak in humiliation, and the only thing your child will remember is shame. Speak in disappointment alone, and they will believe themselves unworthy. But speak in wisdom, speak in love, speak in calm and steady assurance, and the lesson will take root without the scars of resentment. Boundaries are necessary, but they should be built with wisdom, not wrath. A child should understand that discipline is not a punishment inflicted upon them, but a path to something greater. Teach them that correction is not rejection, that rules are not chains but guides, that consequences are not meant to harm but to instruct. Show them that discipline does not come from a place of control, but from a place of care. And when they falter, and they will, for they are learning, growing, becoming, do not meet them with the weight of anger, but with the strength of guidance. Do not punish to prove a point, discipline to teach a lesson. Do not make them small, help them rise. A child raised with wisdom will carry that wisdom into adulthood. They will not only know right from wrong, but will understand why right is worth choosing. They will not only follow rules, but will learn to govern themselves with integrity. They will not only avoid mistakes out of fear, but will strive for goodness out of understanding. So discipline with wisdom, not wrath. Teach, do not tear down. Shape, do not shatter. Correct, but do so with love. For love is the only ground in which true lessons take root. Words hold power. They shape the mind, mold the heart, and echo long after they are spoken. A child is a canvas, and the words you paint upon them will color their view of the world and of themselves. Speak life into your child, for the world will not always be kind, and they must carry within them a voice that says, I am worthy, I am strong, I am enough. Children believe what they hear, especially from those they love. If they are told they are smart, they will rise to intelligence. If they are told they are kind, they will walk with compassion. If they are told they are capable, they will face challenges with courage. But if they are told they are worthless, they will shrink. If they are told they are a burden, they will carry that weight in silence. If they are spoken to in anger, in harshness, in ridicule, they will internalize it until they no longer question if it is true. A child does not need to be reminded of their flaws. They need to be reminded of their strength. They do not need words that belittle, but words that build. Discipline does not require cruelty. Correction does not require shame. To raise a strong child, you must not only guide their actions, but guard their spirit. Your words should be a shelter, a place of refuge from a world that will not always be kind. The world will tell them they are not enough. Let your voice be the one that says, you are more than enough. Let your voice be the one that says, you are more than enough. The world will try to make them feel small. Let your words remind them that they stand tall. The world may try to break them, but if they carry within them the words of love, of strength, of worth, no force will be enough to shatter them. A child who is spoken to with love will learn to speak love into others. They will not only carry confidence within themselves, but they will spread it wherever they go. They will build up their friends, their siblings, their own children one day. They will know how to comfort, how to encourage, how to lift up those around them because they were lifted first. But a child who grows up under the weight of hurtful words will struggle to rise. They will seek validation in places where it is not freely given. They will search for love in voices that do not speak it truly. They will carry wounds that are invisible but heavy, wounds that take years, sometimes a lifetime, to heal. And so choose your words carefully. Choose them with intention. Choose them with love. Even in moments of frustration, even when the days are long and patience is thin, remember that your words are building something in your child. Make sure what you build is strong, is kind, is filled with light. Speak to them with the same gentleness you wish for in your hardest moments. Speak to them with the same encouragement you would give a dear friend. Speak to them in a way that makes them believe in themselves long after childhood has passed. And when they walk into the world, when they stand on their own and face all that life will bring, they will not just carry your lessons, they will carry your words. So let them be words of strength, of wisdom, of love. Words that build, words that lift, words that never fade. A child does not measure love in gifts, in grand gestures, in things that can be held in their hands. No, a child measures love in presence, the steady, unwavering presence of a parent who sees them, hears them, values them. It is not enough to provide a roof over their head, food on the table, clothes on their back. These are necessities, but they are not the essence of parenting. A child will not remember the shoes you bought them, but they will remember whether you knelt to tie them. They will not recall the price of their birthday gift, but they will remember if you were there to see the joy in their eyes. In a world that moves fast and lives filled with endless distractions, it is easy to mistake provision for parenting. It is easy to believe that working harder, earning more, giving them everything is the greatest gift. But children do not long for more things, they long for more of you. They do not need the best toys, the latest gadgets, or luxuries beyond measure. They need a parent who sits with them, listens to them, shares in their small joys and big fears. They need time, attention, and the kind of love that cannot be bought but only given freely. A child who grows up feeling unseen will search for visibility elsewhere. A child who feels unheard will struggle to find their voice. A child who feels like an afterthought will wonder if they are truly important. But a child who knows their parent is present, fully, truly present, will walk into the world with confidence, with security, with a deep understanding that they are valued, not for what they do, but for who they are. Presence is not just being in the same room. It is not nodding absent-mindedly while your mind drifts elsewhere. It is not answering with half-hearted hums while your eyes stay fixed on a screen. Presence is engagement. It is stopping to look into their eyes when they speak. It is listening not just to respond, but to understand. It is choosing time with them over distractions that will never love you back. It does not take grand efforts. It does not require perfection. It is in the small moments, the bedtime stories, the shared laughter, the hand held in comfort. It is in the way you ask about their day and actually listen to the answer. It is in the way you notice their struggles before they even find the words to say them out loud. It is in the simple, powerful act of showing up every day in ways big and small. And when they grow, when the world begins to pull them in different directions, when they face the struggles and uncertainties of life, they will not just remember the things you provided. They will remember that you were there. They will remember that they were seen, that they were heard, that they were loved, not from a distance, not in passing, but fully and completely. And that knowledge will be the foundation on which they build their own strength, their own confidence, their own love for the world. So be there, not just in body, but in heart, in mind, in spirit. Because in the end, what your child will cherish most is not what you gave them, but that you gave them yourself. A child is not meant to stay in the nest forever. They come into this world fragile, dependent, looking to you for every need, every answer, every bit of guidance. But your role as a parent is not to hold them so tightly that they never learn to stand on their own. It is not to keep them grounded when they were born to fly. Your role is to strengthen their wings, not chain them to the ground. It is easy to let fear shape the way we parent. The world is unpredictable, full of dangers, disappointments, and heartbreaks. And so we cling, we protect, we hover, we wrap them in caution, thinking we are doing what is best, thinking we are keeping them safe. But a child who is never given the chance to struggle will never know their own strength. A child who is shielded from every difficulty will not know how to face challenges when they come, because they will come. Life is not gentle, and no amount of protection can keep hardship from finding them. What you can do is prepare them. What you can do is make them strong enough to stand, to fight, to overcome. Teach them resilience, not fear. When they stumble, do not rush to pick them up. Teach them how to rise. When they face failure, do not shield them from its sting. Help them understand that failure is not an end, but a lesson, a beginning. When they are uncertain, do not make every choice for them. Give them the space to decide, to think, to trust themselves. Strength is not built in comfort. Strength is built in struggle, in effort, in the moments when they learn that they are capable, that they can push forward even when it is hard. Give them confidence, not doubt. Let them take risks. Let them explore. Let them dream without limitations. Speak belief into them. Tell them they can. Tell them they are capable. Tell them they have within them everything they need to succeed, and then step back. Let them prove it to themselves. The greatest gift you can give a child is the belief that they are enough, that they can stand on their own, that they have the strength to face whatever comes their way. Raise them to think, not just to obey. Do not demand blind compliance. Teach them to question, to analyze, to seek understanding. Let them challenge ideas. Let them form opinions. Let them develop their own sense of right and wrong. A child who is taught only to follow will always need someone to lead them. But a child who is taught to think will navigate life with wisdom, with confidence, with independence. And when the time comes, because it will come, when they are ready to leave, to step into the world without you by their side, let them go with pride, not fear. Do not hold them back because you are afraid of losing them. Do not clip their wings because you cannot bear to see them fly away. Love is not possession. Love is freedom. Love is knowing that you have given them everything they need to soar. And so raise them with strength. Raise them with courage. Raise them with the knowledge that no matter where they go, no matter how high they fly, they will always have a home in your heart. But do not keep them in a cage when they were meant to take flight. Let them rise. Let them become. Let them go. Because that is what love does. Love is the foundation of everything. It is the thread that weaves through every lesson, every moment, every word spoken and unspoken. A child may not always remember the exact things you did, the precise words you said, or the rules you set, but they will always remember how you made them feel. And if they grow up wrapped in love, unshaken, unwavering, unconditional love, they will walk through life with a strength that nothing can take away. Love is not given only when they are obedient, only when they excel, only when they make you proud. Love is not a prize to be earned, not a reward for good behavior. It is the constant, the certainty, the safe place they return to no matter what. A child should never wonder if they are loved. They should know it in the way you look at them, in the way you listen, in the way you hold them when they are small, and stand beside them as they grow. It is easy to love when they are kind, when they are joyful, when they are everything you hoped they would be. But true love is shown in the hard moments, in the tantrums, in the rebellion, in the days when they push you away, when they test every boundary, when they make mistakes that hurt themselves and others. Those are the moments they need your love the most. Those are the moments when love is not soft but strong, not conditional but unwavering, not fleeting but forever. To love a child is to see them fully, not just the good, not just the potential, but all of them. It is to love them in their messiness, in their imperfection, in their struggle. It is to love them enough to guide them with wisdom, to correct them with kindness, to teach them with patience. Love is not letting them do as they please, but neither is it control disguised as care. Love is the balance between freedom and guidance, between discipline and grace, between expectation and acceptance. A child who is truly loved will love in return. They will carry that love into their own relationships, into their friendships, into the way they treat others. A child who grows up with love will not have to seek it in places where it is not given freely. They will not accept less than they deserve because they have always known what true love feels like. They will not carry the weight of wondering if they are enough, because they have always been made to feel that they are. And when life tests them, and it will, because life is full of moments that shake even the strongest hearts, it will be love that holds them together. Love that reminds them they are never truly alone. Love that gives them the courage to stand, to fight, to keep going. And they will know, no matter how far they go, no matter what life brings, that they are always, always loved. So, love them loudly. Love them in words, in actions, in presence. Love them in the small moments, in the big ones, in the ordinary days, in the unforgettable ones. Love them so completely that there is never a doubt in their mind that they are cherished beyond measure, because in the end, love is the lesson they will carry with them forever. Parenting is not about perfection. It is about presence, about patience, about love that does not waver. It is about shaping hearts without breaking spirits, about teaching wisdom without instilling fear. It is about guiding, nurturing, and preparing children not just to survive in the world, but to thrive, to stand tall, to walk in confidence, in kindness, in strength. The words you speak, the lessons you teach, the love you give, these are the things that will stay with them long after childhood has passed. You are not just raising a child, you are shaping a future, building a legacy of love that will echo through generations. So lead with wisdom, discipline with understanding, speak with kindness, be present, truly present, give them wings to fly, but let them know they will always have a home to return to. And above all, love them in a way that leaves no room for doubt. Because love, in the end, is the greatest gift, the greatest lesson, the greatest legacy. May your journey as a parent be filled with patience, with grace, with moments of joy that make the challenges worthwhile. And may your children grow into the strong, compassionate, and confident souls you have guided them to be. Good luck and thank you. My dear friends, now I don't come to stir up trouble, but I do come with the truth in my hands and honesty in my mouth. I come walking slow like wisdom and standing tall like dignity. Because there are times in this life when something bitter walks in dressed in silence, and you feel it in the room before you even see it. You know it like you know the sound of your own name, a tension, a quiet storm, a kind of cold that don't come from the weather. People don't always throw stones with their hands. Sometimes they throw them with their words, sometimes with their eyes, and sometimes with the way they stop calling your name like it never meant a thing. When someone cannot celebrate your joy or sit quietly beside your pain, know this: that isn't love dressed in disguise. That's something much colder. That's contempt. That's resentment doing a slow dance in someone's chest. When a person begins to mock what once made them proud of you, when they laugh at your dreams instead of lifting them, when they pretend your victories are small just because they didn't build them, you have to see the truth. If they cannot clap for you, they are hoping you fall. If they look the other way when you rise, their silence is their confession. Jealousy might whisper, but hate is louder in the things left undone. When they ignore your words, when they twist your meaning, when they choose strangers over your spirit and gossip over grace, that is not a mistake, that is a message. They are trying to erase you in pieces, one conversation at a time, one cold shoulder at a time, one smile that never reaches the eyes. But do not beg for kindness where none is kept. Don't kneel at the feet of someone who has already walked away in their heart. The truth is, hate does not always scream. Sometimes it starves. It starves you of warmth. It starves you of being seen. It makes a feast out of your silence and then blames you for being too quiet. And still, I say, walk on. Walk with your head high and your back straight, because you are not here to shrink for someone else's comfort. You are not here to be less than your light. You don't need to burn yourself down just so someone else doesn't feel small in your shine. It is all right to love people who no longer have love for you, but it is not all right to stay where your soul is not fed. You cannot make a home in someone who sees you as an enemy. You cannot grow in soil that chokes your roots. When they constantly downplay your success, it's not humility they seek, it's your silence. And you'll know it. You'll feel it in the way they respond to your good news with empty words or quiet eyes. You'll see it in the tight smile, the slow nod, the way they look past you when you speak of the things you've worked hard to build. They don't clap, they don't cheer, they don't ask questions. And that silence is louder than a crowd's roar. Because when someone truly cares for you, they celebrate you. Not just when it's convenient, not just when it benefits them, but because they see your growth as something worth honoring. But a person who harbors hate won't ever hand you that joy. They'll talk about humility as if your pride is the problem, but what they truly want is to keep you small. They'll call you arrogant, just because you finally found the courage to be confident. They'll dismiss your dreams as luck or timing or favoritism, anything but the truth, that you earned it, that you rose, that you stayed the course when others gave up, because your success exposes something in them. Your shine reveals their shadow, and instead of using that moment to reflect and grow, they choose bitterness. They choose to cut you down, little by little, pretending it's nothing but honesty. But truth doesn't come dressed in sarcasm. Support doesn't sound like mockery. And love never demands that you dim yourself. These people don't hate what you've done. They hate that you did it without their help. They hate that you didn't need their approval, that you didn't stay small, obedient, and manageable. They'll use phrases like, don't let it get to your head, when what they really mean is, don't believe you're more than what I want you to be. They'll warn you to stay humble, but they never warn you about staying hidden. They weren't worried about humility until you started rising. That's not advice, that's control. And you'll see the pattern if you look closely. They never downplay their own wins. They'll speak of their accomplishments with full hearts and wide eyes. But when it's your turn, they suddenly fall silent. Or worse, they minimize it, laugh at it, change the subject. It's not humility they want. It's to take the wind from your wings. They want you to second guess, to hesitate, to feel guilty for standing tall. That is not the posture of a friend. That is not the heart of someone who loves you. Because real support looks like presence. It looks like someone who shows up, who claps the loudest, who holds your hand when you rise and when you fall. Real love doesn't shrink when you shine, it expands. It stands beside you and says, look what you've done. I'm proud of you. But when someone can't say those words, even when you've given them every reason to, know this. It's not about humility. It's about resentment. It's about a silent hate that wishes you never got as far as you did. And still you must continue. You must rise not in spite of them, but because you know your worth does not depend on their approval. You cannot live for the praise of those who hope to see you fail. You cannot keep folding yourself in pieces just to make them comfortable. You were not made to be silent about the things you've overcome. Your voice is a part of your victory. Let it speak. There is no need to argue with people who pretend not to see your growth. Their blindness is by choice. Their silence is their answer. Don't beg for applause. Don't perform for people who've already decided to withhold it. Keep building, keep growing, keep rising, because the loudest truth is not always spoken. Sometimes it's lived. Let your light be too bright to ignore. Let your success be too steady to shake. And if they choose not to clap, let them sit in their silence while you continue to soar. If they celebrate your failures more than your victories, their loyalty was never to your growth. You'll feel it in the way they come alive when something goes wrong for you. The way their words suddenly grow louder when you stumble, as if your missteps bring them relief. They ask for details. Lean in close, eyes sharp, not from concern, but from curiosity. And when you succeed again, when you rise from the fall, they grow quiet, distracted, uninterested. That silence is not random. That excitement in your pain is not innocent. It is the sound of someone whose heart holds no room for your joy. People who carry hate for you won't always come at you with sharp words or cruel actions. Sometimes they just wait. They wait for your collapse. They wait for the moment your voice breaks. And when it does, they feel taller. Not because they grew, but because they hoped you would shrink. There's something bitter in that kind of watching. It's the kind of bitterness that claps when your plans fall apart, that smiles just a little when the world is unkind to you, and you see it. Even if they try to hide it, you know when someone is celebrating your pain. It shows in how quick they are to spread your bad news, how slow they are to support your good. These people disguise their hate in concern. I just want you to be careful, they'll say. Or maybe this isn't for you. But underneath those words is no care, no truth, no kindness, just fear that you might heal, that you might become something they can no longer ignore or belittle. Because your rise reminds them of everything they never dared to chase. Your strength offends their comfort. Your resilience interrupts their story of who they believe you are. And when you fail, because we all do sometimes, they see it as proof. Proof that you never deserved your wins. Proof that they were right to doubt you. They latch onto that moment like it's the only truth they've been waiting for. They talk about it more than you do. They replay it. They repeat it. And they make sure others know it too. But ask yourself this: where were they when you stood up again? Where was their voice when you started rebuilding? Because loyalty doesn't just show up when the lights are out. Loyalty stays when the lights come back on and claps as you shine. You deserve people who lean in when you win, people who show up not to gather gossip from your grief, but to lift you with love when you're down and remind you who you are when you're strong. If someone only draws close when you're hurting but disappears when you're healing, that's not a friend. That's a shadow. That's someone who's more comfortable with your brokenness than your beauty. True connection celebrates your growth even when it surpasses their own. It doesn't compete. It doesn't compare. It understands that your success is not their failure. But hate has a different hunger. Hate feeds on the idea that you don't make it. It waits for the cracks in your path and then dances in the dust when you fall. That's not love. That's not support. That's someone who needs you to lose so they can feel like they've won. So watch closely. Watch who shows up with open arms when you're hurting, but turns away when you rise. Watch who only speaks your name in rooms full of whispers. Watch who never repeats your victories, but has memorized your losses like scripture. These are not your people. These are not the ones meant to walk beside your purpose. You don't owe them explanations. You don't owe them access. All you owe is your commitment to rise anyway, to keep showing up for your own journey, even if they'd rather see you stuck. Don't let their twisted joy in your pain become your truth. Let it become your proof that not everyone who watches you wants to see you win. You are allowed to protect your peace. You are allowed to outgrow the rooms that cheer louder when you fall. When they mimic your pain and call it a joke, their laughter is a mask for deep resentment. It's not just words thrown into the air, it's a wound wrapped in humor. It stings in the way they speak about your struggles with a crooked smile, as if your heartbreak is some kind of entertainment. They'll say, "I was just kidding," when you flinch, as if the joke was harmless, as if your reaction was the problem. But there is something cruel about a person who uses your lowest moments to get a laugh. Something bitter about someone who knows your pain and chooses to perform it instead of hold space for it. They mock the very things that hurt you the most. They'll imitate your voice when it trembled. They'll retell your story with exaggerations that draw giggles from others, ignoring the part where you barely survived that chapter. And when you sit there feeling exposed, feeling humiliated, they pretend not to see it. Because what they really want isn't to connect, it's to diminish. They want to take something sacred and strip it of dignity. That's not teasing. That's not play. That's hate dressed in humor. And the most painful part is when you start to question yourself. You wonder if maybe you are too sensitive. Maybe you should laugh too. Maybe it's not that deep, but it is. You know it is. Because you wouldn't laugh at someone else's scars. You wouldn't find amusement in someone else's grief. The only people who do that are the ones who cannot stand the power your pain has given you. They don't want you to rise with wisdom. They want you stuck in that moment, reduced to a memory they can laugh at whenever they feel small. People who carry secret hatred will often use laughter to sharpen their blades, because if they can make others laugh with them, they can hide their intention behind the crowd. It becomes harder to call out cruelty when it wears the mask of comedy. But know this: anyone who ridicules your pain is not neutral. They are not just being funny. They are telling you who they are and how little they value what you've been through. And you'll notice they don't do it to everyone, just to you, just to the ones they secretly resent, just to the ones whose strength threatens their comfort. They remember your past better than you do, not because they care, but because they want to make sure you never forget where you stumbled. That's not support, that's control. That's their way of keeping you under their thumb, reminding you of your weakest hour so you don't grow too proud in your healing. But healing does not need their approval, and growth does not require permission. You are not obligated to find humor in the things that almost broke you. You do not owe anyone a smile for mocking what took you years to mend. Protect your pain. It taught you more than their laughter ever will. Don't laugh to be accepted. Don't laugh to belong. Because the moment you start performing your own suffering just to fit in with them, you start betraying the very strength that got you here. You deserve friends who defend your pain, not perform it. You deserve people who sit with you in silence rather than turn your trauma into a comedy. You deserve truth, respect, and a space where your wounds are not a stage for someone else's insecurity. Be mindful of who you let close. Be careful with who you allow to retell your past. If their version only makes others laugh, they never respected the truth to begin with. And you don't need to confront them with rage. You don't need to fight. Your peace is protest enough. Your silence, your distance, your healing, that's what unsettles them most, because people who mock pain rarely know how to face their own. And when you stop playing along, they lose their power. So stand firm. Let them laugh if they must, but don't sit at their table. Don't carry their approval like it means something. You've walked through fire and you did not burn. That is not a punchline. That is a miracle. If they ignore your voice in rooms where it should be heard, they're hoping you disappear quietly. And that silence, that subtle dismissal, is not just oversight, it is choice. A deliberate act meant to shrink you down until even you begin to question your place. These are the moments that don't always come with shouting or insults, but the wound cuts just as deep. When people who know your worth pretend not to, when they talk over you, dismiss your input, or make decisions in your absence, it is not forgetfulness, it is intent, because your voice holds weight. It carries experience, truth, and a power that threatens those who don't want to see you rise. And if they can't erase your success, they will try to erase your presence. They will silence you in subtle ways, changing the subject when you speak, crediting your ideas to others, or pretending your words carry no value. And every time they do it, they are trying to plant a seed in you, the seed of doubt, the kind that whispers, maybe I shouldn't speak up, maybe I don't belong here, but you do. Your voice matters, your place is earned, and their refusal to acknowledge it says more about them than it ever will about you. The danger is in how quiet this form of hate can be. It doesn't always arrive with anger. Sometimes it shows up in meetings, in friendships, in families, where someone deliberately keeps you out of the conversation that your life deserves to be part of. They talk about you, but never with you. They take your thoughts and twist them, or worse, pretend they never existed. They make you invisible while standing right beside you. That's not forgetfulness, that's fear. They know the power you hold when you speak your truth. They know the influence you carry when you're heard, so they ignore it. Not because it lacks value, but because it makes them uncomfortable. Because in your voice is a strength that reminds them of everything they tried to suppress, and instead of facing that truth, they choose to mute it. They hope you stay quiet. They hope you stop trying. They hope you sit down and stay there. But you weren't made to be silent. You weren't made to disappear. You carry the stories of survival, the lessons carved from failure, the wisdom earned through struggle, and you have every right to speak them into the world. Don't let their silence become your silence. Don't let their erasure become your belief. Speak even if they don't listen. Stand even if they don't invite you. Show up even when they pretend you don't matter. Because the moment you stop trying to be seen by them, you begin to see yourself more clearly. And that kind of clarity, that's where your real power lives. You don't have to shout. You don't have to fight for a seat at every table. Sometimes you build your own. Sometimes you speak into spaces that echo with your own voice until the world hears you. And those who chose to ignore you, Let them. Let their silence show their truth. Let their refusal to acknowledge you speak volumes about what they fear, because the louder your life becomes, the harder it is for them to pretend you don't exist. People who love you don't silence you, they make room. They listen. They amplify your voice when it shakes. They give you space to speak even when you're still learning how. And anyone who deliberately dims your sound is hoping you fade away so they can shine without comparison. But the truth is, your light is not a threat unless they were never ready to share the room. And you don't need that kind of company. Let your voice be loud, let it be soft, let it be fierce, raw, uncertain, but let it be yours. Because every time you speak, you remind them that you're still here, still growing, still rising, and no one's silence can take that away. When they pretend not to notice your progress, it's because your light blinds the envy in them. They see it. They see it. But they'll act like they don't. They'll scroll past your victories. They'll skip your name in a room where praise is being passed around. They'll hear about the new chapter you've stepped into and greet it with a blank face, not because it means nothing to them, but because it means too much. And their silence, that quiet refusal to acknowledge what you've built, is not neutrality, it's resistance. It's their way of pretending that your growth never happened, so they don't have to feel small in its presence. People who harbor hate won't always attack. Sometimes they simply withhold praise, withhold support, withhold recognition. Because to say your name with kindness would be to admit that you've outgrown the story they created for you. They remember who you were when you stumbled, when you were unsure, when you leaned on them to stand. But now that you've found your feet, now that you're moving, rising, becoming, they don't know how to hold that version of you, so they ignore it. Not because they missed it, but because they can't bear to admit it. And you start to notice it in the way they talk about everything except you. The way they lift others who have done less, just to avoid lifting you. The way they compliment strangers, but leave you starving for even one honest word. They're not blind, they're bitter. Your progress disrupts their comfort. Your confidence threatens their control. So they pretend you haven't changed, haven't grown, haven't fought tooth and nail to reach the place you're in now. But you remember every late night, every quiet struggle, every step forward when no one was watching. You didn't come this far to be ignored by the people too afraid to face your shine. And yet their silence can start to sting. You begin to wonder if what you've done matters, if it's worth celebrating, if maybe you're still behind. But that's the trap. That's the trick of those who cannot stand to see you win. They want you to doubt yourself because doubt keeps you small. Doubt keeps you seeking validation from people who will never give it. But you must not let their silence steal your voice. You must not let their envy rewrite your story. You have to stop shrinking in the presence of people who refuse to grow. You have to stop dimming your light just to stay in rooms that can't handle brightness. Your progress is not a threat. It's a testimony. It's proof that change is possible, that healing works, that perseverance pays off. And if that makes them uncomfortable, let them shift in their silence. Let them wrestle with the truth they can't deny. Because you do not need applause to keep moving. You do not need a standing ovation to continue evolving. The people who are meant for you will notice. They'll see the small wins, the big leaps, the quiet strength it takes to rebuild. They'll speak your name in rooms you're not in. They'll call you forward when you forget your worth. But the ones who hate you in secret, they'll vanish into silence the moment you rise. That's how you know. That's when you see the truth. And yet, keep going. Keep growing. Keep becoming the version of yourself that makes their denial impossible. Be so bold in your becoming that their silence starts to echo. Be so consistent in your climb that even their avoidance becomes acknowledgement. You do not owe them your shrinking. You owe yourself your fullest bloom. Let them look away if they must, but don't you dare stop shining. If they turn others against you without cause, their mission is not disagreement, it's destruction. And it never starts loudly. It begins in whispers, in the way they drop your name like it's a warning, not a person. It's in the sideways comments, the looks exchanged, the subtle shifting of people around you. One day, the room feels colder, friends grow distant, conversations feel different. You haven't changed, but something around you has, and it isn't by accident. There are people who hate quietly but move like shadows, slow, creeping, always just behind. They don't confront you directly because confrontation would require courage. Instead, they move in silence and manipulation, planting seeds of doubt in the minds of others, watering them with lies, feeding them with fear. They twist your words, misrepresent your actions, and use your vulnerabilities as weapons. And they do it in a way that leaves no fingerprints. By the time you realize what's happening, the damage has been done. That kind of hate doesn't want to challenge you. It wants to erase you, to isolate you, to make others see you through a lens of suspicion. And they won't just attack your actions, they'll target your character. Because when someone can't defeat your progress, they'll try to corrupt your presence. If they can make others believe you are a problem, they won't have to prove it. They'll just sit back and watch as people begin to withdraw, unsure of the version of you they've been told exists. And the hardest part is when people believe them, when those you've laughed with, cried with, trusted, begin to pull away without explanation. When they look at you differently, hesitate when you speak, question your sincerity, that hurts more than any argument ever could. Because the pain isn't just in being misunderstood, it's in being misrepresented. It's in knowing that someone, somewhere, is working against your name while you're busy trying to walk in peace. But even in the face of that betrayal, don't become bitter. Don't let their poison turn you into what they've claimed you are. Stay grounded in who you know yourself to be, because while they're using their energy to tear you down, you can be using yours to build something bigger, stronger, and lasting. Truth has a way of rising even when it's buried beneath lies. And the people who matter, the ones who truly know you, will feel the difference between rumor and reality. You don't need to chase after every lie told about you. You don't need to correct every misinformed opinion. Sometimes silence is your loudest defense. Sometimes your peace is the strongest protest. Let your actions speak. Let your consistency shine, because over time, truth outlives deception and character stands when false stories crumble. Still, it's okay to feel the sting. It's okay to feel the betrayal. You're human. You were never meant to be invincible, but you were meant to rise. Even when your name is dragged, even when your circle shrinks, even when you feel like standing alone is the only option left, there is strength in knowing that the truth doesn't need protection. It just needs time. And while they plot and whisper and conspire, you keep walking. You keep speaking with kindness, even when they throw cruelty behind your back. You keep moving with purpose, even when they try to block your path. You keep showing up, whole and unshaken, because their hate is not your responsibility. Their fear of your light is not your burden to carry. You were not put here to make others comfortable with their insecurity. You were not meant to shrink in the shadow of someone else's fear. So don't let them twist. Let them talk. Let them turn others against you if that's what they must do to feel powerful, because in the end, the ones who turn were never truly with you. And the ones who remain, those are the ones who saw you, heard you, and chose you anyway. Keep walking. So if they downplay your success, cheer your failure, mock your pain, silence your voice, ignore your growth, or turn others against you, know this: that is not love in disguise. That is not concern wearing another name. That is hate, clear and deliberate, wrapped in polite smiles and quiet gestures. And while it may not always be loud, it is always present. You deserve to be seen, to be celebrated, to be protected. You were not born to beg for kindness from those who fear your light. You were made to rise again and again, no matter who refuses to clap. Protect your peace, honor your growth. Let their silence stay behind you as you walk forward in truth. May you never waste your voice on those who never deserved your sound. Keep shining, Keep standing and keep choosing yourself every single time. Good luck on your journey, and thank you for listening with heart.